anda biraz sonra sahneye çıkacak olan Black Map'le beraberim. Well, here I am sitting with Mark from Dredg and Ben from the Trophy Fire. How lucky I am, and congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
I was going to say thank you first. I feel excellent. Besides the rain and being wet, it's excellent.
Oh yeah. Bugün Kaliforniya'nın arkadaşlar son 10 yılda beklenen en büyük fırtınası gerçekleşti. Dolayısıyla dışarıda inanılmaz bir yağmur ve rüzgar var. Buna rağmen aşağısı gerçekten çok kalabalık. And The Explode albümleri yeni yayınlandı. Bugün de albümün lansman partisi olacak. So let's start with how this whole journey started.
Basically friends. We all were in other bands. Our drummer Chris Robine was in FAR. I was in a band Dredg, still am. Ben's in a band called the Trophy Fire, and we all knew each other and wanted to do a project, and got together about a year ago and started writing songs, and now we're here. We knew we wanted to simplify, and we also knew that it was fun again. Not that we don't have fun with our other bands, but you know, when you're in a band long enough, you know, decades basically, it felt refreshing. It was just something new, and we didn't sit around and really say it's going to sound like this. But then eventually, the sound came out after a couple months of writing, and we wanted it to be straightforward. We wanted to kind of get a bit heavier. The songs are a bit. You know, more focused, and at least in my sense, and maybe not think as much. I think the writing process is a bit quicker, which feels good. For the most part, the songs kind of come out, and we don't overthink it, and don't.
Why is that so?
Well, I think maybe because of the freshness. You know, I think you start to second guess yourself if you're in a band for a long time, or opinions change and things. Can kind of take left turns, you know, sometimes for the better. But no, I think we just, if we liked something and we enjoyed playing it, we just went with it rather than saying, is this the right style? It was just like, no, run with it, go with it.
And in your other bands, were you more concerned about, is this a right fit for our style? Like, are you more free now with the Black Map?
Sure, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I'm going to be free with whatever I do. But yeah, I think you start to feel like there's certain directions you probably won't go in with some projects, and even with this project, maybe, you know. But when it's brand new, that doesn't exist.
How did you apply your previous knowledge and the experiences and differences to this band?
I think, and Chris has kind of said it before, who's not here right now, but we kind of all just do what we do. And, you know, Mark has a distinctive style, and Chris definitely has one, and I probably have one. So we kind of just, when we came together, it is what it is, but we're really happy that the synthesis of it all is something that we really like.
So you guys were touring Europe, all around Europe, 9 cities with Chevelle. How was that? Because it was your first tour, first European tour as Black Map.
It was amazing. I mean, Chevelle's kind of one of the most perfect bands for this band to tour with. Not that we sound just like them or anything, but it's a similar kind of musical palette. And we had already toured with them in the States. We knew essentially what to expect, but it really couldn't have been better. And they're incredibly nice, beautiful people too. So we had a great time.
So what was different this time with the writing? You kind of said the writing process, but for the recording process and after that, since you guys were both in the music business for a long time, where this time things were easier or smoother?
I think we purposefully restrained ourselves a little more. We wanted to make sure that the tones and the sounds we got were the best they could be, but we didn't, you know, where I think with our other bands we would normally layer more and find more instruments to bring in, which I love that too. This project we purposefully were like, you know what, let's keep it more raw. I think hopefully when you see us live, it sounds like the record, you know. It's, you know, of course you're going to double some vocals and double some guitars and things like that, but there's really no not much trickery going on, if that's the right word to use. There's not a ton of production. It's pretty raw, and I think we wanted that. We wanted to go that route.
The castle is made of sand. Can't withstand the tide. With no truth inside. You speak to your masters now, laying at your feet. They admit defeat.
Oh, you write the lyrics, and I know you're a philosophy major, so would that help you writing lyrics at least a little bit?
Yeah, or it hurts me because I use words that are too fancy and too big. I mean, every lyricist is a thinker, but I think I love existentialism and philosophy and looking at human existence, and I think that's a lot of what the lyrics in this band are, just looking at people, why we're the way we are, why we react in certain ways to certain situations, and so there's definitely something thematic in that.
Is there any specific albums or songs or bands that you guys listen during the recording time for this album?
Well, I know. For me, for a long time, I was very influenced by heavier bands as a youngster, but I hadn't listened to it for a long time, and I think when we started finding the route that we were going to go, which was bigger guitars, more riff oriented, I definitely went back on, either found old CDs or went to iTunes or went to whatever and bought things again that I hadn't listened to, at least in depth, in a long time. I may have heard it, some night, but I went back and listened to Entombed from 1993, Wolverine Blues, and albums like that, just to hear dynamics. Even though Black Map is definitely not a metal band, but there's aspects in there that I would take from the metal and the punk that I listened to when I was youngster again. There's that word, youngster. Ben, say youngster with me.
Youngster. It was fun, almost doing like research for this band, and not. I don't really mean that in a classical, like academic sense, but when we started playing heavier music, and then kind of going back and listening to albums from Helmet and early Deftones stuff, and thinking about these bands that we didn't want to copy them, but it was fun to go back and listen and go, okay, you get some little ideas here and there, especially tonally, especially with the way that things sound.
Castle is made of sand. Can't withstand the tide. With no truth inside. You speak to your masses now, laying at your feet.
Over the years, I get the privilege of being your friend, but when you consider, like, I'm a fan, I'm a very big fan indeed. So let me ask, with the Black Map, what's going to happen to Dredg's future and the Trophy Fire's future?
I'm sure the Trophy Fire will play again. I love those guys, and we're just right now, this is my main focus, but it does not mean that we won't do something in the future, so we will see.
I've heard there is a show coming up, kind of reunion show.
Oh, yeah, this will interest nobody. My band from high school called Io, like the moon of Jupiter. We had about 45 fans when I was a teenager, and we're going to play a reunion show in North Carolina. It's not a big deal, but
sounds exciting to me.
It's exciting. It'll be a blast from the past. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be really fun. Yeah.
So what about Dredg?
Yeah, I mean,
When are we gonna hear a new album? I know you just released an album like a week ago, and I know tonight we're having the party for that.
Yeah.
But when are we gonna have a new Dredg album?
I mean, I think we will. I mean, we did a great tour in April in Europe. We had a great time. Everyone got along. It was really positive, So we got back from that, and we told ourselves there will be a writing that occurs soon, and hopefully, but sometimes you take breaks, and when you come back to things, it makes it to bring it back around to the earlier conversation, and it'll be fresh again. I mean, I would be excited to go back to Dredg eventually after I work hard on this project, and the perspective you would have from that is, I think, very healthy. Because if you are stuck in a little bit of a rut, sometimes changing it up can only help. So I think it's definitely going to happen. It's just we're 4 individuals with 4 different lives, and bringing that together is like herding cats.
Well, you've been to my hometown actually I haven't been in my hometown like a year now, but you've been.
Yeah.
So did you see any differences? Is it changed? How was it? How was the show? Which is pretty sad because I waited for 10 years to see you in my hometown, and then I moved to the same city with you, and I become your neighbor.
Yeah, but you
and now
saw us
you're not playing here, but you're playing in my hometown when
You
I'm
were
not
there
there.
in 2011, though.
Yeah, once.
Okay. It was great. I mean, I love Istanbul. You know I do. So it was amazing to go back there. It was April 2014, and the show was excellent. People came out still. You know, we were a little bit worried whether we knew 2011 would be good because it took so long. And we were a little worried that maybe the crowd would be smaller because they already saw us, but that was not the case. People came. The show was excellent, and you know, of course, got to go enjoy the city a little bit. It was only a bit shorter this time. We only had one night. We had to fly. I think it was like to Russia the next morning early. But point being is, I love being there. I love the people. They're always so hospitable, and they want to welcome you and take you out and talk sim and have a good time. So I would love to go to Istanbul anytime with any project. So.
So after all these nice words about my hometown band, do you want to go to Istanbul?
I would love to go anytime. Bring the band there. Black Map. We'll see you soon. Have us. We're coming.